Shalom Aleichem. Good afternoon, everybody. It is an honor to be back here as MC with all these incredibly talented people, composers, musicians, vocal musicians. Last time they had me down on the floor, and I thought that was really a more appropriate place for me as being part of the audience rather than up here. And it made me think of a variation on an old adage that those who can't compose, sing, or play a musical instrument are MCs. I'm supposed to give you some logistical details to start. So for the mundane, here we go. Everyone should have a handout. And on the inside of the front cover is kind of a roadmap of the wonderful music we'll be hearing today. Out in the hallway, if you kind of hang in that direction behind the wall, you'll find the restrooms. And as always, we've asked those of you who have your cell phones with you to put them on silence or turn them off. The other thing to say, which is not logistics, is for me, somebody who's been in the audience all their life but has a deep love for music, it always touches certain emotions for me, and the emotions kind of become my own, and I tie it to certain wonderful events or not so wonderful events in life, but important events in life. And so that's what we ask of all of you today, is to kind of let loose, be open to whatever emotions are being conveyed in this wonderful music, and just be part of this wonderful musical journey that we're embarking on this afternoon. So the opening song, Happy Little Niggun, was written by Lezlie Zucker, a wonderful piece, a great way to get us started. So there is instructions in the back on exactly what a Niggun is. Most of you, I think, do know that it's wordless melody that just gives our hearts joy here in the Jewish world. And we're going to hear a lot more Niggunim this afternoon, which is great, including our next song, which is also a Niggun written by Warren Sickel, who's the co-director of music at Temple Beth Shalom in Topeka. The wordless segments of this piece are strung together with words as well. Those words are how good it is and beautiful, all of us gathered in peace, which is adopted from Psalm 133. This expression of unity and joy of being together, this is the perfect way to kick off our community concert today. And so with that, I present Warren Sickel conducting the community chorus and band, Niggun number 4. beautiful piece. Thanks you again so much, Warren, and the community chorus. I'll ask them to return to their seats, and we will have the pleasure of hearing from the chorus again in the second half of today's concert. And we now welcome Michelle Cox forward to share her original music setting of the same words you just heard in Warren's song, Hineih Mah Tov U'Manayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Michelle will be joined by Linda Salvay and Lezlie Zucker to form today's house trio. To call up Mike and Jill Fine, husband and wife composing team. They're going to share a few words with us about their songwriting journey when I'm eager to hear them. And after that, a team will accompany Rachel Black as she sings Jill's original song, This Sacred Space. And for this song and for 5 other songs today, that team will include our friend Reverend Debbie Buchholz. And we encourage you to take some time to read her bio at the end of the handout today. She is singing along in American Sign Language as well.
Wife, mother, daughter, sister, engineer. Those are the words I use to describe myself. Until 3 years ago, when Emily encouraged me to write a song for the second spring session. She took a leap of faith in me when she published my name on the spring session poster before she even heard my song. That was probably about 20 songs ago. Due to Emily's encouragement, this next song, This Sacred Space, is my 4th song to be performed, and now I can describe myself as a songwriter too. I wrote this song while flipping through the prayer book during services and reading meditations. This meditation caught my eye, and after reading it multiple times, this tune came to me. I recorded it on my phone, wrote down some notes, sent it to Emily to complete the song, and this is what you will hear this afternoon.
Husband, father, son, brother, podiatrist, and good-looking. I knew if no one else would laugh, my kids would laugh over it. Those are the words I used to describe myself. I had no experience in songwriting until the fall of 2017, when Jill and I wrote a song together for a friend's wedding. Then, a couple of months ago, Emily encouraged me to submit a song on my own for the spring session, and now I can add the word songwriter to my description too. The song I wrote is a klezmer version of Lecha Dodi. a prayer sung every week at synagogues around the world. I've always loved klezmer music and thought that a joyful tune would be perfect for welcoming the Sabbath bride. I recorded a couple of versions of the tune, and the rest is history. I want to thank Emily for doing the arrangement and putting together an amazing group of singers and musicians to perform both of our songs. Note that my song will be performed in the second half of the performance today, so you'll have to be in suspense until then.
One of the reasons we are sharing our stories is to try to encourage others, meaning each of you, to try your hand at songwriting. You don't have to create lyrics from scratch. You can use a poem, prayer, meditation, quote, or anything that is meaningful to you. The ideas for songs can come when you're sitting in services, taking a walk, driving a car, or when you wake up in the morning. There's no right or wrong time to write. There is no right or wrong place to write, and there is no right or wrong words or tunes. Like us, you don't have to have any formal training or musical experience, although it certainly doesn't hurt if you do.
The only thing you need to do is, number one, download a voice recorder app on your phone. And if I can do that, anyone can do it. I just learned what an app was like a month ago. And those of you who know me know that's not far from the truth. Number two, listen to the words in your head and the song in your heart. Number three, record it, and then if you need help, find someone who can help you with the arrangement. The point is that anyone can do this, and even if it never gets published or performed, it's an amazing journey.
This is a poem I wrote this week called Sing Out Your Song with Your Soul. See your song with your eyes and breathe in the song through your nose. Touch your song with your fingers and dance to your song with your toes. Hear your song with your ears and move to the song with your hips. Feel your song in your heart and taste your song with your lips. And when you feel your whole body's on a roll, then sing out your song with your soul.
Jill, what a beautiful piece and so beautifully performed. Mike, you know, I've worked that I'm good-looking line in the past, and I don't do it anymore just because I got tired of hearing people laugh so readily when I said it. You know, the older I get, I think the more non-rational I've become, which is to say I believe more and more in the magic. The words of this next song were written centuries ago by Kabbalist Isaac Luria. We know the text as Yom Zeh Yisrael. A morsel of that text is expressed today by Emily in a new musical form. She's joined by the house band and by a very special guest, Corey Ryan, who will be playing an instrument that is a combination of guitar and banjo. I'm dying to hear this. It's probably safe to say that this is the first time the instrument has graced this sanctuary. Feel free to correct me if that's wrong. Corey serves as the director of contemporary worship at the Church of the Resurrection, not too far from here, and wonderful leaders and many good things in our community. And we encourage you to read his bio at the end of the handout and find out how he got connected with Beth Torah in today's concert. And here today, they're now performing Orah v'Simcha. Thank you so much, Emily, Corey, and all of our wonderful musicians for beautiful music. We'd now like to invite up Tim Intfen, a mainstay of this concert series and a mainstay here at Beth Torah, to share with us a little bit about this next song, Adonai Ori, which his friends Carmen, Randy, and Emily will be performing with him today.
Okay, the text of this piece is from verse 1 of Psalm 27. Adonai is my light and refuge secure. Whom shall I fear? Adonai is the stronghold of my life. Of whom should I be afraid? Sometimes when writing musical settings to prayers, the melody comes first, and then I look for a text that pairs well with the music. Not so with this piece and with my other song later in the program. When composing the music to this text, I wanted to represent musically a reaching upward toward light, the way a flower emerges from the soil in the spring. With that in mind, I started noodling around on the piano and came up with this rolled chord. A rolled chord is one in which the notes of the chord are played individually in succession as opposed to being played all at once. I wanted a chord that followed the syllables in Adonai. To represent the idea of reaching up toward light, the notes of the chord needed to roll upward. You'll hear this in both the piano and vocals throughout the piece. Carmen, could you go ahead and demonstrate a rolled chord there? And you're going to hear that in just a moment. Each time the name Adonai is sung in the first section, the chord rolls progressively higher and the singing is progressively louder, starting softly, almost tentatively, but then reaching an end point with affirmation and conviction. But then it gets softer and a little uncertain with the question, Mimi Ira, whom shall I fear? The trio repeats the section in the same way, but the second time, when they get to the question, Mimi Ira, the notes turn upward, reaching toward the light of Adonai. The second section uses conventional chords in a steady rhythm to reinforce that Adonai is the stronghold of our lives. It is a little louder, and it does not fluctuate between softness and loudness. In the final section, we return to the progression of quiet to loud, with the last ascending note of Mimi Ira at the end sung independently of the piano, as we, now strengthened in our faith, bask in the warmth of the light and safety of Adonai. Emily and Carmen and Randy, you have beautifully captured these ideas in your rendering. Thank you all so much.
Adonai Ori
Another round of applause for our composer, Tim Intfen, as well as the musicians. Our next featured composer is Stu Lewis, who's going to talk in a second. Stu is such a positive presence in our community, both through music and in other ways as well. He composes vocal solos, choral pieces, piano accompaniments, and instrumental obligatos. But when it comes to solos, he prefers to partner with others. This is Stu's second year of collaborating with Rachel Black, who will deliver Stu's original setting in a moment of Adon Olam. And Stu?
Yeah, it's been said that you can't really call yourself a Jewish songwriter until you've set the Adon Olam. So with my fourth contribution to the spring session now, I guess I'm officially part of the club. I'd like to give credit also to Emily for her rearrangement of this piece for the house band, which I think gives an added dimension to what I originally submitted. So thank you and enjoy the piece.
Adon Olam asher malach
Our next two songs deal with questions of being witness to injustice, of fighting injustice. The first one is by Carmen, and it's titled Complicit, and the second is by Linda Salvay, the first of, I think, 3 songs that are on the program that Linda has composed. It's entitled We Are All the Same. With that, it's a good time to make a suggestion, a reminder that in your handouts you actually have the lyrics and notes from the composer, and I would urge you to read them and even take them home and read them further after the concert today to really know what motivated, what was behind the songs, the wonderful music that we're hearing today.
I would like to second that. I wrote a note in your program about what inspired this song. A lot of the songs you'll hear today are for singing along to, or for meditation, or are set to text from prayer books. And my song is more of a song that intends to challenge you to think about your life choices. I know that's always fun. Everyone loves doing that. But it's mostly about thinking about something that's very important to the Jewish people, which is caring about injustice. And so the song is called Complicit. It was inspired by Noah Tarjan at his bar mitzvah. He talked about how he said a person who is part of a corrupt society and gains is complicit. And so this is about that idea. I'm using a vocal harmonizer. So like I sing a note, ah, and then I use the vocal harmonizer. Ah, it's magical. So I'm going to use the vocal harmonizer to do the backing track and then sing over that. And Randy has agreed to play bass and adds a lot to it, so thank you so much for listening.
as our house trio comes back up, Michelle, Linda, and Lezlie, we also invite Debbie to come up to sing this song through sign language. This group will share with you Linda's original song, We Are All the Same.
We all come from somewhere, maybe going somewhere else. We're just trying to get to where we can be ourselves. We all have a heartbeat, a spirit and a name. We are the sea of humanity. We are all the same. We are all the same, sharing planet Earth. All of equal worth. We are all the same. Each voice has an echo when it rounds the canyon deep. Every weary body yawns in longing for its sleep. Each one casts a shadow in the sunlight's golden flame. Every life has breath till it faces death. We are all the same. We are all the same, sharing planet Earth. All of equal worth. We are all the same. Now some might say you're different. They might not let you in because of where you come from or the color of your skin. They'll rip your children from your arms and lock you up in shame. Ah, but for God's grace they'd be in your place. We are all the same. We are all the same, sharing planet Earth. All of equal worth. We are all the same. We are all the same, as different as can be. Yet all one family. We are all the same. All one family. We are all the same.
So 10 days ago, I was in El Paso and Juarez, Mexico, with a group of rabbis being witness to injustice and actually hearing immigrant stories. And the stories decades ago were our Jewish stories. So Linda, thank you so much for your song. Now we welcome up the Juby Brothers Unplugged. Last time it was Rabbi Scott White and his musical friends, and I was loaded for bear for that one. This is a new twist for me. I don't know, so what, your greatest hits, Taking It to the Shtetl, What a Jew Believes, I don't know. It's all good. A special note to the leader of the band, Rabbi Scott White, who is approaching retirement, not, I think, due to an issue of age, but I suspect to find new challenges. But as one who was his rabbinic intern a number of years ago, I wanted to be kind of the first on my block to say, Kol HaKavod, I know there'll be many honors to come. So the Juby Brothers Unplugged, they will share two songs, the first written by Jim Applebaum and the second written by Rabbi White. They are joined by bandmates Ron Altman and Eric Morgenstern and Larry Meyer. If you like what you hear today, there is still time to buy tickets for the Beth Torah Bash, celebrating their congregation's 30th anniversary this Saturday night, April 13th. It's pretty good you got this rabbi promoting another congregation's gig. The Juby Brothers will be there with special guests, and they'll be performing dance songs and rock and roll. And you should note that after these next two pieces, there's going to be a 15-minute intermission. There'll be some nosh for you. Don't eat too much, because there's more nosh after the concert is finished. You will also notice donation bins in the Olam outside. And if you could kind of show your gratitude, this thing doesn't happen on its own, and help out a little bit, whether it be $5 or a little more. If you got a little more handy, that would be all great. And with that, I present the Juby Brothers.
Thank you. So my song is You Are Standing Here Today, and it's inspired by, at least in the Reform congregations, what we hear on Yom Kippur morning. And You Are Standing Here refers to everyone that has come before us and everyone that will come after us, as well as us. And so my daughter did this for her bat mitzvah portion, so that's where it kind of started with me, the words. And now it's kind of cool because she brought her daughter with her, except she's not out of her yet, to listen to her grandpa play. So, but it's the generation, and the task is not so hard. Everyone should be able to do this, including us, this band. 1, 2, 3, 4. You are standing here today, all of you, before your God, for what I command this day. It's not too hard for you, nor too far off. Attend its a vim hayom lifnei Adonai ish Yisrael. It is not in heaven that you will cry, who'll fetch it from on high. It is not beyond the sea that you will say, who'll bring it to me. You stand on this day before Adonai, all of Israel. The word is close to you, in your mouth and in your heart. It's yours to do. Attend its a vim hayom lifnei Adonai ish Yisrael lifnei Adonai
are so delighted to be here in our unplugged version. Next Saturday, we add 4 more musicians, including a Juby sister, Lezlie. So we're delighted to have a full dance regalia. So join us at Beth Torah's
and
big
a surprise
fundraiser
guest also.
Oh, and a few surprise guests. So this is our calm version. Next Saturday will be rock and roll. And this one's Scott.
So, I really hated going to Hebrew school when I was a kid, but when I lived in Jerusalem, to go to Hebrew school was a pleasure. The 6 years that I devoted to rabbinic education and then a junior year that was one of those years, fully three of those, half of them I lived in Jerusalem. Wonderful experience, and so this is a love song to that city. I was a young man asking questions, seeking answers. A friend told me where I could go. Jerusalem lies beneath the golden dome. Jerusalem, land of light and stone. There is a city in the desert on a mountain, where for sin we would atone. Jerusalem lies beneath the golden dome. Jerusalem, a land of light and stone. Whenever I go there, something changes deep inside me. I can feel it in my bones. Jerusalem lies beneath the golden dome. Jerusalem, a land of light and stone. Now it is later, I'm getting older, I'm moving slower. I can hear her calling me back home. Jerusalem lies beneath the golden dome. Jerusalem, a land of light and stone. There's a city in the desert on a mountain, where for sin we would atone. Jerusalem lies beneath the golden dome. Jerusalem, a land of light and stone. Jerusalem lies beneath the golden of Jerusalem, a land of light and stone.
Another round of applause for these wonderful musicians and all the wonderful musicians, composers who grace us with their songs so far. There is much more to come. 15-minute intermission, not Jewish Standard Time 15 minutes, but an actual 15 minutes, and we'll see you back here. Thank you.